Hello to my fellow HO slot car racers. This is Mark Natividad over at West Coast Slot Cars in Los Angeles, California. And I hope that everybody is being safe, that you are well, and please wear a mask. There we go. That's my 2 seconds of public service announcements. So today we're going to talk about the mysteries of the Mega G chassis and the Mega G Plus chassis, all done by AFX. So let's get started into this video. I'm going to remove my subliminal advertising and we're going to dive right in here. These are the lineup of Mega G and Mega G Plus cars by AFX, and I got my first AFX Mega G car in January of 2009. They may have come out in 2008 toward the end of the year, but I didn't get my hands on one until 2009. So there are some major differences, and mysteries refers to the differences and the things that changed. You may not be aware that there were changes because you got yours later. So the later versions, there were only a few slight changes in cosmetic and then also the body, but we're going to get into that. Getting ahead of myself here. So let's separate the cars, and we're going to talk about the first Mega G, the first Mega G chassis. There it is. That was one of the first 4 that I bought in 2009 in January. And the first version of the Mega G chassis, as you can see down here toward the bottom, had larger traction magnet openings. So that was one thing on this chassis that's very noticeable from the second version. And the other thing is opening up the chassis here. They had a sort of a plastic housing around the armature on the first version. So basically everything else was the same except for the little housing around the armature and the larger openings for the traction magnets. So the second version came out, and this is the second version of the Mega G chassis. Not the Mega G Plus, the Mega G. And as you can see, looking at the bottom here where the traction magnets are, they definitely made the opening a lot smaller. And another difference on this chassis is that the motor is now, the armature is now exposed. So in comparing the two, we have the first version on the bottom. That's this one here, and then the second version on the top. So there's you can see the differences in the motor housing on the top, and then on the bottom, let me get these in good focus for you. You can see the difference in the traction magnet area there. So again, I reversed it, but the newer one, or the first version, is on the top and the second version is on the bottom. So those are the long chassis, the long version chassis. Those are the first to come out. And then after that, they released the short chassis. So these are awesome cars. We have a lot of fun with these racing. They're so light and nimble, they handle well, and they're very competitive, and we love them. The GT40, awesome cars. If you can still get them now, they're fetching a pretty penny on the auction sites. So I got mine, definitely got all mine, but the short chassis is unique into itself because it is short. So previous AFX cars like the Super G Plus, you were able to change from a long chassis or the long wheelbase to a short wheelbase and vice versa. So these are not interchangeable. That's one thing about the Mega G Plus product. Short chassis only fit on the short bodies, and the long chassis only fit on the long bodies. So there you have it, and there is one of my most prized cars, the number 2 GT40. I love this car. It runs so well. All right. Now, another thing about the Mega G is the difference in the body styles. So let's talk about the body styles real quick. So this is one of the latest ones. Now let's see, 2020, so 2018, maybe 2019. These were changed. The body was changed. So they basically went from on the front air dam here and the front fin, they went to a smaller front fin. So as you can see, the difference in the two, the first version or second version of the Mega G chassis, and then the latest version of the Mega G actually the Mega G Plus now, and we're going to talk about that. So you can see the difference, because what was happening is the nose, or this little fin here, was hooking up with other cars around the turns or getting stuck in the guardrails. So they had to, especially around the turns, so they had to shorten up the width of this. So that's the only cosmetics change to the body. And again, that's a regular Mega G, not the Mega G Plus. So right after their release, AFX came out with the innovative Mega G Plus car. So this was a total redesign, a total redo. Everything is different about this chassis. Same in the sense of the car, the handling is great, but basically what they did was they used a CAN motor, and this motor is called an FN20 CAN motor. And you can see the top of the chassis is a little circuit board there. So you can't get to the armature. So there's been a lot of discussion and debate on these cars. We run these in our club, but we use the Viper products. We use the Viper front and O-ring axle set and the Viper rear axle set. What you get, the hubs, the gear, and the tires on there, and that makes them a little bit more, a little quicker on the track. But great handling. There's my custom paint job, my custom Nascar that I did, sponsored by Peak, and it's one of the very few cars in our club that there's actually the white car, so I get to run in the white lane. At least I know which lane it goes back on. But great cars, great handling, very lightweight, very smooth with the gear mesh. It's a wonderful car, and with the Viper products, the rear axle and the front O-ring set, you'll get even better performance out of these. So if you're running these on a home track, better to run these at 22 volts. And in our club, we run them, I think we run them at 22, sometimes 23 in our club, if you have a commercial power supply. All right, so there is the mysteries of the Mega G, the Mega G Plus, and I just have one last little tidbit of information, and this is more of a performance thing, and I'm going to talk about the rear axle. I'm going to pop that out right here, and we're going to talk about this the gear boss right here. So again, 2009, it's been quite some years since I've had my Mega G cars, the original ones. Had a lot of laps on them, a lot of lap time. And what happens over time is that the gear boss, because of centrifugal force and the friction, starts to slide. So it'll slide over, and you'll lose your gear, your mesh, and you can also get the car that will be deslotting and not perform. So a couple quick fixes is, one is to go ahead and get that rear axle set from Viper. So you can get that, and it comes with everything you need. It's got the spacer and everything. It's all set up. You just pretty much take out your old axle and then just pop this one in. Okay, pretty simple. You can actually do it yourself if you have a proper wheel removal tool that you can pull off the hubs on the stock one and then take that off and then add a spacer there. That should fix that problem as well. But again, it happens over time. Some of these cars are in my collection, so they haven't seen the track time yet. But over time, that's going to happen. So keep an eye on that. All right? So I think that is it for now. And again, this is Mark Natividad over at West Coast Slot Cars in Los Angeles. And thank you guys for watching my video. And of course, I appreciate any comments or suggestions in the column down there where it says comments, and please give me a like if this is something that you like, and you can share it with your other slot car buddies. All right, that's it for now, and we are going to sign out. Happy racing from West Coast Slot Cars in Los Angeles. Take care. See you on the next video. Bye.